Oceans have fascinated humanity for millennia. Waves symbolize freedom, adventure, and sometimes death. Their rhythm soothes some but fills others with dread. The biggest waves on Earth aren't just for surfing. They're moving walls of water packing the energy of an atomic bomb. They can destroy cities, capsize tankers, reshape entire coastlines, and in a single moment end lives. In this video, you'll learn how these giants are born, where to find them, why some waves come out of nowhere, and, most importantly, what it's like to be hit by a 30-meter wave. Types of waves, from everyday rollers to lethal giants. Wind waves, the most common, created as wind moves across the ocean's surface. Most beach waves are under 2-3 meters, but storms can build them to 10 or even 15 meters. Swell waves generated by storms hundreds or thousands of kilometers away. They travel great distances, are regular and beloved by surfers. Storm waves, extreme waves triggered by cyclones, hurricanes, or polar storms. These are where open ocean height records are set. Tsunami, formed by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or landslides. Often unnoticeable in deep ocean, they become devastating walls of water near shore. Rogue waves, monster waves, giant freak waves created by the combination of several smaller waves. Unpredictable, extremely tall, and considered sailors' legends until the late 20th century. Such as standing waves in bays or lakes triggered by wind or earthquakes. They can inundate entire ports in minutes. How waves form. The never-ending science. Most waves at sea are caused by the transfer of wind energy to water. Key factors: wind strength. The stronger the wind, the bigger the wave. Duration. The longer it blows, the higher the waves. Fetch. The distance over which the wind blows. Longer fetch equal sign bigger waves. Depth and shape of the seabed. In deep water, waves are longer and faster. As they reach shallow water, they slow down, rise, and break. Tsunamis are different. They start with a sudden displacement of huge amounts of water, usually by earthquakes. They can cross oceans at up to 900 kilometers per h, and while just 50 centimeters high in open sea, can grow to tens of meters as they hit land. Rogue waves are the result of constructive interference. A few large waves randomly align and their energies combine. The result is a single massive wave 2 or 3 times higher than those around it. The biggest waves in history. Records that stunned Lituya Bay, Alaska, 1958. The highest wave ever recorded, 524 meters. A mega-tsunami caused by a landslide with the force of a nuclear explosion. Entire hillsides were stripped of trees, and a fishing boat was hurled hundreds of meters uphill. Indian Ocean, 2004. Tsunami up to 30 meters, over 230,000 killed. The waves struck the coasts of Thailand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and India. Japan, 2011. Tsunami up to 40 meters, multiple waves, total devastation of eastern Japan. Modern rogue waves. Waves up to 32 meters measured on oil rigs in the North Sea. Tankers snapped in half. And satellites now confirm such waves happen several times a year. Where are the biggest waves? The world's most dangerous regions, North Atlantic and North Sea. Frequent extreme storms, long fetch, deep water, and powerful currents from Canada and Greenland, a factory for monster waves. Southern Ocean around Antarctica, the roaring 40s, gale force winds, and no land to stop the waves. Regular 20-plus meter waves with some reaching 30 meters. Pacific, Hawaii, Japan, Kamchatka, Alaska. Underwater ridges, frequent storms, tsunamis, and huge swells. Indian Ocean killer tsunamis, cyclones, and extreme storm waves. Legendary spots for surfers and monsters. Nazar, Portugal. Underwater canyon focuses wave energy. Record-breaking surf waves over 30 meters. Peihai, Jaws, Hawaii. Legendary swells, 20-25-meter giants. Shipstern Bluff, Tasmania. Brutal step-like breaks and unpredictable power. Mavericks, California. Freezing water and waves over 15 meters. Rogue waves, every sailor's nightmare for centuries, considered just tall tales. Today, rogue waves are confirmed, measured, and extremely dangerous. They strike with no warning, often in otherwise calm seas. Can be 2-3 times higher than the surrounding waves. Have crushed tankers, sunk ferries, and damaged even modern cruise ships. Real story. In 2001, the cruise ship Caledonian Star was hit by a 30-meter rogue wave off South America. The waves smashed the bridge and shattered all the windows, but the ship survived thanks to its strong design. In the 1990s, rogue waves in the North Sea bent steel guardrails on oil rigs and ripped up concrete staircases. Tsunami, the silent killer from the deep in the ocean. A tsunami is often just a slight swell. Near land, it slows, rises, and transforms into a moving wall of water. A tsunami is a series of up to 10 waves. The largest may come an hour after the first. The energy is terrifying. Waves flatten homes, sweep cars and trains inland, uproot forests, and destroy concrete bridges. What's it like to be hit by a 30-meter wave? Reality versus movie surfer or big wave rider. Riding a 30-meter wave is for the absolute elite. The approach. The roar is deafening. You feel the ground vibrate. The air is thick with salt and adrenaline. The water vibrates beneath you. The fall. A drop from the height of a 10-story building hitting water at up to 80 km/h. It feels like concrete. Broken ribs, concussions, and severe injuries are common. Underwater, the wave throws you into a washing machine, spinning, tumbling, no idea which way is up. You may have just seconds to breathe, but the hold down can last a minute or more. Top surfers train to hold their breath for up to 3 minutes for these situations. Sailor on a ship, before the wave, the horizon disappears. A wall of water as tall as an apartment building rises ahead. The ship climbs steeply. Everything shifts and crashes. Impact. The wave hits with hundreds of tons of water, crushing railings, smashing windows, ripping out anchors. Survival. If the bow is reinforced and the ship faces the wave head-on, survival is possible. At a bad angle, the ship can capsize or snap in two. Inside, you hear metal groan, things crash, and water floods in within seconds. Coastal resident. During a tsunami, you hear a strange roar. Then the ocean recedes. Water vanishes hundreds of meters out, exposing the seabed. Many people rush to collect stranded fish, a fatal mistake. Suddenly, a dark line appears on the horizon, growing into a gray wall. A blast of air, hissing, then chaos. By the time you run, it's too late. The wave obliterates homes, trees, and everything in its path. Water moves at 30-50 kilometers per h, dragging debris, cars, boats, and animals inland. Underwater, the current pulls you under. Everything is dark. You're smashed by debris. Every breath could be your last. Survival depends on luck, strength, and randomness. Physics and psychology, what a monster wave does to people and land force. The energy of a 30-meter wave per meter of width can reach 3,000 tons. A semi-truck weighs about 20 tons. The body? The water feels like concrete. Broken bones, internal injuries, hypothermia, disorientation, and suffocation are common. The mind? Survivors report unreality, being in a tunnel of light and noise, loss of time, and often total amnesia. The landscape? Waves reshape coastlines, remove hundreds of thousands of tons of earth, sand, and rock. Coastal towns can be wiped off the map. Survivor stories. When the wave gets you, surfer, Garrett McNamara, Nazaire. It's like an avalanche, but underwater. You can't do anything, just hold on and hope the wave spits you out. Every muscle is tight. You survive minutes underwater. No idea where the surface is. 2004 tsunami survivors. People described massive pressure, being dragged for miles in mud and debris. Many survived by grabbing onto rooftops or trees. Sailors from the Caledonian Star. Every clock on the bridge stopped at the moment of impact. Water flooded the bridge in seconds. It felt like we'd left reality and entered another world. How to survive a monster wave. Tips and facts big wave surfers train to hold their breath for up to 3 minutes. On a ship, always face the bow into the wave. Never try to outrun it sideways. During a tsunami, run to the highest place you can and never go back for belongings. Modern science uses satellites and buoys to warn about tsunamis, but there's no warning for rogue waves. The future. Extreme waves and climate change warmer oceans mean more energy, stronger storms, and bigger waves. Melting glaciers could trigger new mega-tsunamis in the Arctic and Antarctic. Coastal cities are increasingly at risk. Urbanization, loss of mangroves, and hardening of shorelines make survival harder. The biggest waves of the future may break records we know today. Respecting waves and nature is the key to survival. Giant waves are not a myth. They're a fact of life on our planet. Anyone living by the sea, sailing ships, or loving surfing needs to know their rules and respect their power. Waves are both beautiful and deadly. Their silence is often a warning, but without them, life on Earth wouldn't be as dramatic, dynamic, or fascinating.